I'm Tammy. Welcome to my kitchen, and this is my friend Emily. Today we're going to make resurrection cookies for you for your Easter with your family and your children. This can be made with Sunday school classes. If you have enough time, grandparents may enjoy doing this with the grandkids. The best time to do this is on the eve before Easter, Easter Eve, because these actually will take all night to bake, and then you'll have them on Easter morning. First thing you need to do is preheat your oven. I'm going to preheat mine to 350. The directions say 300. My oven, I know, runs a little cooler, so I need to raise my temperature to 350. It is very important that you do that now. Don't wait till halfway through. You need a good 30 minutes before you put your cookies in the oven for them to preheat. That is extremely important for this recipe to work. So make sure you give it plenty of time to preheat. Alright, this is what the cookies will look like the next morning. And Emily, are we ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we are ready. So the first thing that we need to do after we preheat our oven is to put a cup of pecans.
And a Ziploc bag.
Okay, grab the measuring cup. That one. These are pecan halves, and Emily's going to put those in the Ziploc bag. Got it?
Yep, I do.
All right, we're going to seal them up tight. And
now I'm going to hit these pecans into the Ziploc baggie so they will be able to be crushed and put into the cookies.
Perfect. Get started with that. This symbolizes the breaking of Jesus' body. After he had been at the tomb with his friends and the disciples praying, then the soldiers came and arrested him, and his body was broken. It was beaten for us, and that is what Emily is representing by breaking the pecans. If you have a child with a nut allergy, you may not want to use pecans. Pretzels would work quite well for this. Don't make them quite so fine. Excellent. We're going to set these off to the side. And Emily, would you like to read John 19, 1 through 3?
So then Pilate took Jesus and scourged him.
What do you think scourge means?
Probably beaten, because we hit the pecans with a spoon.
Exactly. Scourging means beat.
And the soldiers twisted a crown of thorns and put it on his head. And they put him in a purple robe. Then they said, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they stuck him with their hands.
Good. Now the next ingredient, the first thing that's going to go in our bowl, is our vinegar. Would you like to open that for me? Why don't you take a whiff of it? Have you ever smelled vinegar before?
No, ma'am. Ugh, smells like dried up glue.
Oh my gracious, it is. We're just going to use 1 teaspoon of vinegar. The vinegar represents when Jesus was hanging on the cross, and in John 19, 28 through 30, it says, "After this, Jesus, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scriptures might be fulfilled, he said, 'I thirst.' Now, they brought him a vessel full of vinegar, and sitting there, they filled a sponge with the vinegar, and they put it up to his mouth. So when Jesus had received the vinegar, he said, 'It is finished,' and bowing his head, he gave up the spirit." I don't think I would want vinegar.
No.
Not if I was thirsty. That would not be what I wanted. And so that is the next thing that we put in here is going to be our eggs. And as always, if you've watched my videos, you know I always forget something. So here's our eggs, and we're just going to use the egg whites. If you'll pull the bowl apart,
Sure thing.
all good cooks know that you cannot that you should crack them in a separate container, because if you don't, you're always going to end up putting a yolk into your egg whites, and then they won't be as fluffy. So we're going to break these. Eggs also represent new life, and that is why we are using them in this recipe, to represent that Jesus gave his life for ours. And this is 3 egg whites. So, have you separated eggs before? Do you know how to do that? Some people can do it quite well. I have never mastered the one-hand egg whites. All right, the next thing that we are going to do is read John 10, 10 and 11. The thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy. But I have come that they may have life and they may have it more abundantly. I'm the good shepherd, and the good shepherd gives his life for our sheep. Now we need to add some salt. If you'll pass me the salt, Miss Emily, I will sprinkle some salt into my hand because we just need a pinch. And so you're going to pinch and put it in here. Why don't you give this salt a taste? Just taste a little bit of it. Not very good, is it? But the salt represents the tears that were shed by Jesus' followers and the others that love Jesus. Why don't you read us Luke 23:27?
And a great multitude of the people followed him, and women who was also mourned and lamented him.
Right. They were very, very sad when Jesus was taken away. And this doesn't look like it tastes too good, does it?
No.
No, it doesn't look very good. But I know what's going to make it better. Sugar! So let's add a cup of sugar. Because the sugar is so sweet. And the sweetest part of this story is that Jesus died because he loves us. That is the sweetest part of this whole story, is that Jesus died because he loves us.
Do you think moms would like the children to eat some of these cookies, like 10 of them a day?
Oh, probably not.
I know, right?
Yeah, probably not. So we've got it ready, and Jesus died because he loves us. Emily, why don't you read Psalms 34:8?
Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who trusts in him.
Good. And why don't you read John 3:16 for us?
Okay. For God who loved the world, that he gave his holy begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, who has everlasting him.
That's right.
Life.
Jesus will give us everlasting life when we believe in him. So the next thing we need to do is get these beating. They need to beat to a stiff peak, which on my mixer takes about 3 minutes. Other mixers 2 to 5. You want them to be stiff peaks when they're formed. So let's get this going.